Welcome back to part 2. So, here's some more advice on what you can do, more techniques on how to fight back against those struggles. So, a lot is has to do with your mindset. So I would say love taking those practice tests. We all know it's not as great, but just tell yourself, you're like, I'm gonna love this. Okay, and then it's just I like an analogy, like a runner who likes to run marathons, and they don't dread it, so it just makes it more enjoyable. Okay, but for those few hours that you need to do it for the long term, and then once you do that, you do kind of seem to enjoy it more, and that's how I felt during the time. And don't take practice tests in your PJs. So you want to practice under uncomfortable conditions. You just don't be comfortable, and that way you can prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So I recommend, even if you do have earbuds, practice without earbuds for a while. Like if you're in the library and you hear like whispers in the back, even though they're supposed to be quiet in the library, just say like, okay, just think, okay, it's okay. I am preparing for the worst right now. So, and then eventually when you get closer to the exam, like maybe you can start practicing with those earbuds, and that can help for sure. Just making it kind of related to exercising again, studying like with 30-45 minute intervals, and then taking a break, 5-minute break, or a little longer if you need to, because you know yourself. Use a timer, being that. So timers are so crucial, and using a timer without hearing the alarm. So that means you kind of have to watch out for yourself. And I had mentioned that I had experienced chest pain, right? But I told my best friend about it, and she's doing CrossFit right now, and it's really awesome. She told me, she taught me a stretch where you just put your arm out like this, and then you kind of just like imagine a wall right here. There's a wall right here that you do the stretch on, and it just like opens up yourself a lot. And I really like doing stretches during like times when I felt stressed, and so it just kind of like made me feel really good. So I would recommend that. When I talked about how I did like a whole month of content review, I drew a progress bar chart on my whiteboard right there, and it helped me like seeing like as the bars would increase, there's like 12 chapters from each book, like OChem, Biochem, and Psychology. Each of those books have 12 chapters, but as I saw like the little bars increase, it kind of helped motivate me. So I could suggest that to you to try. And going back with working out, I remember the first time when I was doing content review, it was kind of horrible because I didn't run as much during that time, and so, but I would go to the apartment gym workout machine and bring my psychology book and go on the bike, and just like as I was, it has a little stand for your book, so well, I don't know if it's meant for books, but I used it for books, and I could read psychology while I was like biking, or doing that machine where you do that. I don't know what it's called, but I felt like if I was able to do that with a subject, it would be psychology. And speaking of psychology, a term is a self-reference effect. So if you can make the information as relevant to your life as much as possible, you're just going to remember it better. And that is something useful for just like anything you're trying to learn. So, and I like this where I would have continual fascination. Keep yourself fascinated with information that you're learning. So I remember one fact that was cool was how DNA isn't found in our red blood cells because our red blood cells don't have nuclei. So when they're testing for our DNA and they're using our blood, what are they using? White blood cells. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, interesting. So when you can have those moments, like, really cherish that. And I'm a Christian, so I am not ashamed to say so. And I went to church, I remember one time, and one of the lines that stuck out from the pastor to me was, we are not meant to be independent, but interdependent. And I thought something related to the MCAT and like just studying for my science classes about signaling cascades in our bodies, how it's just not a one protein job, but it takes phosphorylation takes multiple proteins, one protein, next protein, next protein, to carry out a purpose. And so I thought that was cool. And just like in the church, you know, you can't just be one person. And yeah, it's so cool how science is, the field is birthed from the mind of God. That's how I see it. Okay, and then continuing on with more advice, I had mentioned I sometimes felt like I would just like that solitary modes for getting too much, so I would go to the coffee shops or to libraries to study. Just having people around me made me feel better. So times I needed it, and after like so many hours of being by yourself, it's just getting too much. So yeah, that helped. And if you can find friends who are taking the exam during the same time as you, that'd be great. And you can, and then if your phone's like really that much of a problem, you can give your phone to someone else if it's too distracting. Remember, just don't take any time for granted when you're studying. Like so much, like it counts, really counts. Also, a journal. I love journaling, but in general, just for this topic, use a journal. Write down definitions in your own words. You can write when you're taking practice tests and you're reviewing what you got wrong. You can write down what the right answers were, the explanations, and even to questions that you got right. Maybe it was just on accident and you need to like learn that information, or if you just want to reinforce what you already know. So yeah, journals are important. Notebooks. You can draw out graphs and charts. You can put it in your journal or just like hang graphs and charts around you in your room. I did both. Another thing I remember being sad was how when I was studying during the summer, like I usually use summers to kind of just read books at my leisure, but as one of the things I do, because I don't really do it during the school time where I just don't do it, mostly because I don't have time. But I use the car section as my reading for fun, so it made it more bearable for sure. Double AMC also has encouragement and advice from other students who did really well on the MCAT, so I would recommend checking that out. Ask your friends for support if you need motivational quotes. That really brought some positivity in my days when they did that. And I remember like a friend, she also a day before I took my MCAT again, she sent me edible delights, and I was like, oh, such a sweet surprise. And it was really awesome. I jumped for joy. And my other friends, they made a spiritual medicine jar for me, and it's full of verses that are really cool. So I remember reading that when I felt like I needed some motivation or starting my day, and even on the test day, like 1 Corinthians 15:58, holding on to that, and others. So I also realized the second time that I'm an auditory learner, so getting time to watch videos with Khan Academy really helped. And I had more time to actually watch Khan Academy videos more, and that was really good. And taking Physics 2 in upper division biochem between my time of my first time taking it and my second time taking it also really helped. So I really strongly recommend taking those classes. Physics 2, getting that in, and biochem. Just because if you're a biochem major, that helps. But yeah, it appears strongly on the MCAT. Okay. Alrighty. I also had a mentor during my second time taking it. We had some good Indian food 2 days before the exam, and she gave me a pep talk, so that was really good. So if you can find like a person who can mentor you, like that's really awesome. Really like cherish that person. She told me to go in there with a purpose on that test day, and that my neurons are trained to pick the right answer, and it's really cool. So I really held on to that, and I also like how strong she is. So I told her, I want to be like you, like how strong you are as a person, and I just admire you so much. I just want to be like you. And she said, no, the only person you want to be like is you. And even that answer was so inspiring, so it was really cool. Pray and be thankful are my last pieces of advice. Okay. I think I'll have to make a third part, just talking about what I did the day before the exam and my actual testing, and a little more advice. So, see you in my third video. I hope you watch it.